How's it going, folks? My name's Nick. Otto the garden cat is wandering off down to enjoy his time outside. He's been trying to get me to let him out for quite some time now. And this is the Otto Permaculture vlog. So yeah, today it's just going to be another kind of weekly update. That's kind of what I'm doing these days at this point. So it's going to be a weekly update, as well as I got to do a little bit of garden maintenance and cleaning, so I'm just going to work on that today. Nothing too much new to report on my side in terms of the consultations or anything. It's been kind of a slow week for that, but it seems like it's going to be coming back. Looks like they had a few more properties they're looking at, so we might be doing some more site visits. So yeah, anyways, now let's actually get started. Here's Otto. You can see he's very playful right now. He's ready to pounce. Ready to pounce at the smallest little side of something. He's enjoying his little pool area. You can see he's actually sitting in water down there, right here. This is water. He just sits in it. I don't really know why, but that's Otto for you. Fun cat. All right, we're gonna start with just going in and doing all the chicken things as usual. See how they are. Rooster is showing off here, you see. He's doing his little dance for me. He's been doing that a lot recently when I come up in the mornings. Sometimes he's just kind of doing his own thing, blah, blah, but recently he's been running up to the gate and really showing off. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. Maybe it's a big hormonal time or something for him. Hey guys. He's doing his little... This is kind of how I rile him up a little bit. I just move my fingers like that when he wants to come attack. He'll never really attack though. And we have our two mamas. This one has recently been much more loving than she was while raising the chicks, and the chicks are down there and they just look like, as you can see compared, they look like normal sized chickens, slightly smaller, but they're at that point now where they're pretty much just chickens. And of course we got Henry over here. He's very excited for some fresh food. There you go, Henry. Looks like Mama's going to lay. We've been suspecting that she's laying again because we're starting to get more egg production. So that's exciting. She's kind of getting back to normal. Go ahead, Mama. I gotta remove this this piece of plywood here because the chicks are now roosting within the coop itself. So if I don't remove it, they just keep kind of sitting on that flat surface, and you can see all their manure collects instead of kind of dropping through. Oop, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom. Mama just pecked the camera. That's why it moved. See all that kind of build up there? That's just because they're on there, so I got to get that removed. Here's this other mama. She's going up to see what's happening. They always want to be around wherever the commotion is. Wherever there's lots of going on, they always come and check out. All right, before I forget, I'm going to harvest some moringa. My lady, Katie, wants me to bring in some moringa. She's decided that she really likes it, so that's cool because it's a very good power food. So, and we have a whole tree's worth of it here. You can see this entire tree. So it actually did get knocked down. I don't know if you guys remember, after the hurricane or the tropical storm, the first one, we had right up where I'm pointing there, right there, that area got that snapped off, and so I cut it and we have a whole bunch of new growth. But yeah, so I'm going to harvest a little bit of that real quick just so that's done, so I don't forget for later. And there we go. I just harvested just one big old clump of leaves here. I think that's going to be enough for her for the time being. I can always get more. Maybe I'll do one more just to give us a little bit more there. This right here is really fresh growth. You can see they're super green. These guys will be super, super healthy for you. Otto's on the hunt for something. He smelled something and started going on this little, see his tail wagging. He's really looking for something down there. He smells something going on. I don't know exactly what he's looking at, but I know that recently we've been having a snake around here a lot. I think he lives in this little kind of bed underneath this avocado, and with all of the zinnia flowers here. I think he lives down in here somewhere. There's two nice big rocks for him to kind of warm up on. I just see him here a lot. I saw him here last night. He's probably about 2 feet long. I'm not sure. I need to figure out what these things are in centimeters. I guess 10 inches or 1 inch is 25 mil, I guess. So what's that? That's 100 mil is 4 inches, which means 300 mil is a foot. So 600 mil, so that's 60 centimeters. Yeah, that makes sense because a meter is 3. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, about 60 centimeters. That's a long way to say that, guys. Sorry, but I do need to learn how to really quickly convert, and that's one way to do it, is just to do all the math, you know. So yeah, but he's been living in this little bed. And the other day I came out here just to take a look around. I happened to be looking right down here, right there. And I saw a lizard jump down here and land on that patch of grass, and all of a sudden this black thing shot out from the side here, grabbed the lizard and pulled him in and wrapped him up. And I sat there and watched the lizard kind of struggling for a little bit before the snake moved in and disappeared. So we got full nature happening here, and that's exactly what I want in my garden. I want the nature to be involved. I want the snakes to be there because I eat a lot of those mongoose eat the snakes. We don't really want the mongoose so much, although it would be a good predator to have around. But I want to keep our snakes on this property because the snakes eat the iguanas. So when I say iguanas, we have a couple different types of iguanas. We have the green iguanas, the big one, like the marine ones. They're huge. There's also like kind of the terrestrial kind of green iguanas. Maybe they're the same species. I'm not 100% sure on that. But then there's the smaller ones. They're kind of silvery, and they're all over the garden. And they end up digging holes, and they can end up really messing with your root systems and everything. So kind of okay with the snakes being here because especially as he gets bigger. Now he's about 2 feet. You can probably actually start taking those kind of bigger ones because those iguanas, they can get pretty big. You know, they can get, you know, the length of my forearm probably in total, you know, head to tail. And they're probably like that thick at the thickest they can get. So they can get pretty big. So it's good to have a kind of upper level predator. And it's really cool to see those predators. It's really cool to see that we have a full ecosystem here and that it can support a snake full time. I've seen that snake on multiple occasions. I believe it's the same snake that I found in this nest box after the first tropical storm. When I came out to check on everyone, there was just a snake coiled up in there looking for some shelter from the storm. So a little bit worried because we did have Henry in there, but I think that Henry was too big at that point for that snake to get. It wasn't like a big boa. It's more of like a garter snake. I'm not sure exactly. It's black or dark color. I'm pretty sure it's blackish. So it might be a baby boa. I'm not sure. If it is, I'm okay with that. I'd like to have some more boas around here, although they definitely could get one of my chickens. But you know, that's just part of having an ecosystem, I guess. All right, so I need to clean up this bed. So I'm going to end up doing this bed today and this bed right down here. You can see this one's just starting to get way overgrown. Check out this papaya. It's just kind of dying off. This is somewhat normal of papayas here, honestly. They kind of die back like this, and it looks like they're just going to die off, and then they just start shooting new growth after this. So I'm not actually sure exactly what it is. I suspect it's the humidity, and I suspect that right here, this papaya, I didn't plant it here. It just started growing here, and I let it continue to grow. But it gets really wet down here because of all the water flow for this little terrace. So all the water that comes off of that and all the water that comes down from here ends up landing right around this big rock. I mean, some of it does flow this way and down the path, but a lot of it also flows right down this way, and there's a rock here. And then between these two rocks there's a small little channel, and then I have just a slight diversion ditch that brings everything away from the garden and back over here, just to keep this area a little bit less wet where my garden is. But that's all right at the base of this papaya. So I suspect this guy is just getting a little bit too wet, a little too waterlogged. But I do also expect it to just come back, because that's what I always end up seeing him doing. I'm like, oh, that thing's gonna die, and then it shoots new growth and keeps going. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna get started with cleaning this bed real quick. You can see I have the kales producing still. Again, they're small, but they're producing. I might end up pruning this jalapeno again, just to kind of keep it a little bit cleaner. And you can see that we have, this is the zucchini that has yet to produce, but once again, we do have one on. It's right there. We had another one on that I thought was actually going to work, and it didn't. So we keep getting that blossom end rot or whatever it is. So, but that one looks nice and full. So you know, we'll see as I keep being hopeful, and that hope keeps on not quite panning out. So we'll just kind of see what happens. I'm gonna get started now with this garden bed. All right, guys, just want to show you something really cool here. You see these little mushrooms? These little mushrooms popping up. I don't know what variety they are. They're probably just some kind of regular style mushroom in here, but you see this right here? Here's the mushroom, like the one I just showed you. And then here, right within the soil itself, here's all the fungal hyphae. And you can see here's a small piece of wood here, a small piece of kind of branch or something like that, and you see it's covered in it. And right on my finger there, you see that? This strand right here, I'm actually going to pull it out. For all of that right there, that's all fungi. That's a fungal hyphae that's growing and spreading through the soil. So this is what they call the internet of the soil. It's basically the way that all the plants in the soil are going to be connected to one another. And it's basically a very good sign that you have really good, healthy, strong soil. At least that's what I'm looking for. I want a really high fungal count in my soil, and seeing that really thick, anytime if it's really thick like this is a really good sign. So if you can literally see the kind of fungal strands there, that's a really good sign that you have a good fungi. It's not a bad fungi, because usually the ones that are visible like that, they're really thick and really big. Those are the ones you want. I forget exactly what kind, basidiomycetes, I think that might be one of them, but I do need to kind of refresh on my exact fungal world is huge and really hard to learn all of, but usually those big ones, big thick strands like that, really good sign it's a beneficial fungi. And that's growing right in the middle of my bed there. You can see it's just all over there, and that right there is basically allowing nutrient cycling to happen. It's making it much easier for the plants to actually get the nutrients they need by the root systems of the plants will actually connect in with that fungal hyphae, and then as that fungal hyphae expands and grows throughout the soil, whenever a plant over here needs something that's actually way over here, it can actually tell the fungi, hey, I need this thing, and then through this whole process it'll come over here, grab the nutrient needs, and then cycle it back through there and put it into this plant. So really cool sign, really good to see, especially in my bed. This is kind of a long-term bed that I do have both papayas growing as well as turmeric. So all the turmeric back here is doing really well, really happy. Pretty happy with this bed so far. Really happy to see that we have some really good fungal growth. You can see it's all over down there, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for, and that's exactly why I've been trying to apply my compost that's really high in fungi. So good news, guys, I did order, here's a little update, I did order a microscope, so it should be on its way. I am in Puerto Rico, so things often take a little bit longer than they would in the States. You know, in the States you order something, it'll be there in 2 to 5 days. Here, if you're lucky, it'll be a week, but it still hasn't even shipped yet, I don't think. So I don't know if they're like trying to figure out how to ship it to me or whatever, but that does happen. And once it ships here, it should take about a week. So yeah, I think it's supposed to, currently it's the end of September, I should be getting a microscope. And then once I have a microscope, I can start taking samples of that soil, start taking samples of compost, looking at it through the microscope. And I got a microscope that actually has a third eye hole, so I can actually have you guys looking in with me and checking out what I'm seeing in there too, so I can actually share that journey with you. So really excited about getting that and getting that up and running. That'll be hopefully starting in August or October, really, because if I get it at the end of September, get it all set up, figure out how to use it with you guys, and then we'll start moving from there. So really excited to continue that journey and bring you guys along with that. So I didn't spend too much time here so far, but I just kind of cleaned up this half of the bed so far. I still need to do the rest of it over here. But I'm already seeing that I'm at about half an hour on my time. So I'm actually probably just going to finish this up without you guys, because I'm sure that you guys don't necessarily need to see me, digging around and pulling weeds and everything. You guys know how to do that, I think. I have a suspicion. So I will note that I am removing a bunch of material here, and I should be covering that back up with some sort of mulch. That's always my goal whenever I remove, especially basically all that right there, everything I pulled out, that's nutrient from this soil. So if I don't replace that nutrient that I took out somehow with either with compost or with some sort of organic material, then this area is going to be basically missing all of that nutrient. So that's why I'm always replacing, adding soil, adding mulch, adding compost, etc. That's why you're always you have to keep thinking about that over and over. It's never an ending game. You always got to be thinking about that. So I'm going to use probably some mulch, maybe some of this this kind of high silica mulch up here that's been rotting away from the sugarcane, all that fell over here. So we have a whole bunch of that. I also have plenty of banana up here, banana and plantain. You can see I have a big old rack right there that's starting, or really is pretty much done. It's probably at this point, that's as big as it's going to get up there. So there's plenty of banana for me to do. And there's also, as you can see over here, plenty of grass for me to cut. So lots of options here. Ooh, check it out. Check out this big guy. Big guy enjoying the moringa. I don't know if you guys can see him. Ooh. Those guys, they love the moringa. Look at him up there, just loving that moringa flower. The bees love moringa. Moringa is such a great powerhouse of a plant. Bees love it, butterflies love it, all the insects love it, the birds love it around here. I love it. It's just, everyone loves it. So it's a great plant. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for me today. I think you guys have seen enough weeding and me pulling things. I think you understand exactly what I'm doing there. Not that hard. And I've already explained, basically you remove nutrient and then you got to replace it somehow, and that's what I'm going to be doing next. Just continuing to clean up that bed and then going from there. So yeah, I really appreciate everything you guys are doing. I love all the subscriptions rolling in. I think I'm at 195, so we're almost at 200 subscribers. That's amazing. I haven't even producing that many videos. I just feel like, maybe it's just me, but I just feel like since I'm not producing videos, people aren't going to subscribe anymore, but I am continuing to see that subscriber count go up slowly but surely. So now we're heading towards 200. So if you do like my videos and you do like what you've seen here today, please take this video or take any of the videos of mine that you like and share it. And let's try to hit that 200 mark. And if you're looking at this in the future, and like the long-term future, then just pretend I'm going for the next 100 if we're already at 200 there. So, long-term, I'm trying to get over 1,000 and above. So that's long-term though. And this is a long-term thing. I keep saying that during these times when I'm not vlogging as much. This is going to be a long-term thing for me. So it's really just about trying to figure out how it's going to fit into my regular day-to-day schedule. And right now, what that means is I'm doing about one a week. But in the future, it's going to be more than that, I promise you guys. So, yeah, hope you all are well. And until next time, have a good one.